everybody. Welcome to another episode of Erica Shmerica Reality Recaps. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to like and subscribe to my new YouTube channel and go ahead and hit that notification bell to get notified about all videos I'll be posting. Today we're going to be talking about 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, Season 4, Episode 8. Let's get started. We're going to start this party by talking about Steven and Elena. So Mother Elena is still in town from Russia. She's accompanying Steven and Elena on a little, outdoor cafe outing where Steven decides to preach the Book of Mormon to his future mother-in-law. He's telling her that not only does Elena need to get baptized into his religion, but she needs to get baptized into the Mormon faith as well. All while he's drinking some big frothy slushy type thing, hopefully extra virgin, out of these two big novelty squiggly straws. And personally, I would, follow any religion if it involved a squiggly straw. Anyway, Mother Elena, even though she's wearing her transition lenses, can see right through Steven, and that this whole thing with Elena is a terrible idea. Elena kind of drops a hint that Steven was a hypocrite and didn't really follow all of his many rules that he was trying to get everyone else to follow. And Steven said, he can't resist the ladies. He should probably just stop watching Star Wars altogether. Anyway, after she kind of told her mom that in, a roundabout way that Steven wasn't as pure as he had been preaching, she wanted a little alone time to discuss with her mother privately. So she and her mom took a little walk around the area where they came across a man with these like demonic red-eyed looking rabbits that apparently could tell your fortune. So she was petting the rabbit. It was all very random. And the rabbit, before skittily pooping on her shoe, handed her this fortune that said somebody is madly in love with her, which of course she thought was Steven. And she, is a romantic at heart and would like to give Steven another chance. Hopefully Elena will take her mother's advice and go Russia, because this whole thing with Steven just seems like a disaster waiting to happen. Elly and Victor Baba are back this week. They have gotten their own place in San Andreas on the island so that they could go back and forth to Providencia to continue to work on their love shack. They have to rebuild it from the hurricane. So anyway, as they're unpacking, Ellie kind of brings up the whole infidelity thing with the Baba, black sheep. So she casually mentions, the other woman had contacted her and told her all of these details about their relationship, which Victor / Baba, he just tries to describe as a quarantine thing. It was a quarantine fling. I didn't know those were a thing, but apparently you get a pass, for the pandemic. So, she took that in strides. She seemed to not really be into that, but kind of accept it at the same time and moved right along. So later on, they went to a hardware store to buy some tools to help them, rebuild in Providencia. Mostly they were looking for a drill and a machete. I guess the machete was for fun effect. I don't really know why they needed a machete. But Ellie could not believe the sticker shock she had when she looked at the drill price, because she felt as though maybe he could just duct tape the house back together. I'm not sure what she was really thinking, but she's the only one who is funding the rebuild of this little shanty of theirs. So she was kind of upset and hoping that Victor wasn't using her for her pizza cheddar. Hopefully next week she'll wake up and hear her friend Hiromi's voice in her head and go home, go back to the pizza. Ariella just landed in Newark with baby Avi, and they met up with her family. Her mom, the positive gangster, was so excited to have them home, and baby Avi would be meeting a lot of his family for the first time. So while they were in the cab, they called Binyum just to let him know that they landed safe, and it seemed like he was living it up over in Ethiopia. He was hanging with his friends, going out, and Ari did confess that when they were long distance previously, they had some issues going on in their relationship, which I'm assuming is things got a little sketchy. That's how we're seeing a little foreshadowing for next week. Anyway, they arrived at Sister Ariella's house, who was excited to meet her nephew for the first time, who was eating chicken. And Ariella kept saying, "Look at him eating the chicken. Wow, the baby kept eating chicken." And I mean, it was great that he was eating chicken. Definitely not a vegetarian there. Anyway, the sister was convincing Ari that, it was cute and all that you did this whole like Ethiopia thing, but it's time to get serious and move back to the States. It seemed like Ari was kind of on the fence about doing that herself. She did admit to applying for the K1 visa for her and Binyum to both come, but she does seem to be holding true to her promise to Binyum that she will be returning with the baby back to Ethiopia to, you know, prove his whole family wrong. Meanwhile, back in Ingabao, Corey is still in the doghouse, sleeping outside, being eaten alive by mosquitoes, sleeping in a hammock because Evelyn is still mad at him about, what did he do again? Oh, he lied about the Jenny situation. Yeah, Peruvian Jenny, not other Jenny. Anyway, so Evelyn is still not speaking to Corey. He's not giving up. He wrote her some like love letter, which I would love to read, on this like computer paper from 1987. And he like folded it up and slid it under her door. And she read it. And you know she's loving this whole thing because she just likes to torture him because she pretty much hates him anyway. So in the meantime, he went outside and just picked some flowers and brought them to her. And she agreed to see him, took the flowers, but was just, you know, abusing him left and right. Just like, why are you over here? I'm not forgiving you. I don't want anything to do with you. Get out of here. You know, you need to give me a divorce. I'll get the police involved. Threatening everything. And Corey stood his ground. He refused to leave and said he will not sign divorce papers. Maybe they'll give it next week. It looks like the previews show that they're going to therapy. But it doesn't seem like Evelyn's that into it. Even when she was planning the wedding, it didn't seem like she was into that. So we'll see what happens. Team Carmondo is there this week, pulling at the heartstrings as they tend to do. First, we saw the Dos Papas playing day spa with Hannah. How cute was that? They're giving her a mani-pedi. And she even tipped them with her little Monopoly money. Absolutely the cutest. Okay, then Armando tells Kenny that he, in fact, is thinking about having a baby with Kenny and how wonderful that would be to have Kenny's bloodline in his family and that they could raise the baby together. Kenny, on the other hand, seems to be more of like, you know, cool grandpa / gringo stepdad vibes right now. He's like not necessarily into starting all over, especially at his age. He feels like they should just live their best life in Mexico like they're doing with baby Hannah. Anyway, so he would be open, however, to adopting a child. So then Team Carmondo headed over to like an orphanage for kids who are HIV positive because, like, are they saints or what? So they go over there and they're meeting the kids and they're hugging them and they're bringing them presents and they're talking to them and they're thinking about adopting possibly one of these children. Later on, Armando does hear that the process of adoption can take a really long time and he feels that it might be easier for his family to accept a biological child of theirs, like a baby, instead of just adopting, which Kenny just reminds him, once again, you can't do things to please other people. In any case, they're saints, put them on the Hallmark Channel, make room for more garbage. And then there were the showstoppers of the entire episode. Now, I waited weeks and weeks for this, but it is finally time for the parents to meet, submit, stew meet, swim meet, some feet, Smeet, to move in with Smeet and Jenny. OMG, did I LOL at this ridiculous scene. Thank you, production. You have done your job. Little clam claps for you. Anyway, so first they had Jenny pretending to have a friend, probably some nice extra that the production paid well to pretend to be Jenny's friend, walking around the marketplace so Jenny could complain about her mother-in-law, saying, you know, she thinks that she has evil intentions. She's going to come in the house and, like, you know, destroy their relationship by, like, putting Jenny down and just say it's not going to work. But, you know, the friend, whoever she may be, encouraged Jenny to embrace the fact that she's getting a chance with Mother Smeet and that she should really just go with it. And she should even give up her own bedroom and bed to Smeet's parents so that they can be more comfortable. Of course, this is a huge cultural difference right there. And Jenny is older than Smeet's parents. So if the elder should get the bed, clearly it should be Jenny. It's also probably a Craftmatic adjustable, just saying. Anyway, then it was time for the parents to show up. They showed up, guns blazing, ready to go. Mother Smeet was like ready to fire off, you know, the insults left and right. And I was here for it. I was so ready for this. So they come in, first things first, they sit down. Jenny seemed to welcome them very warmly. They seemed nice. Even Mother Sumi hugged Jenny. They came in, they sat down around the coffee table, which was covered in ring stains from their glasses. Apparently, in all of her many 1,000 years on this earth, Jenny doesn't believe in coasters. So Mother Smeet says, what is this, a design? Pointing to like the rings. And, you know, they said, no, that's from our drinks. So clearly it didn't even dawn on them to grab a thing of Windex before they had company come over. Anyway, the grand tour went all around the house where Jenny proudly led them into the kitchen, which was absolutely filthy. It looked like Freddy Krueger was filming his own cooking show from it. It was out of control. Maybe from the boiler room. It was like a rusty sink, dirty, cluttered countertops. No dishes were put away. It was a disaster area. Stuff on the floor. So, of course, Mother Smeet was having a field day. She started cleaning off the counters. She's barking orders at Jenny. Jenny's all flustered like, oh, Smeet, I love you. I don't know what I'm doing. And she's just running around like a chicken without its head. And meanwhile, you know, they're like, grab the broom, go sweep. And then the father, Smeet, actually chimes in with a good one-liner. He's like, she doesn't know where the broom is. She's never used it. So funny. Meanwhile, I hope it's not like Hoarders India up in there. And like, I hope they don't find any monkeys hiding anywhere in the house. So they swept up, but it looks like it's going to be a rough new living situation for poor Jenny. In fairness, she may not have seen that the kitchen was so filthy because of her cataracts, because she's 300 years old. Thanks so much for joining me again for another episode of Erica Shmerica Reality Recaps. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you'll get notified about all new videos I'll be posting. Have a great week, guys. Bye.